In this episode, we dropped the 2025 Banished Words List from Lake Superior State University.
And on the flip side, we talk about how there's nothing worse than having bad coffee creamer. And did you raw dog Netflix to watch WWE? Well, Mike did. We're going to get his thoughts. Mike, hit the music.
What's going on, everybody? It's another episode of the Funny Business Podcast. My name is Mike Gambita. Alongside with me is my best friend, my roommate for life, Mr. Matt Summers. We're here to bring you not all the hacks, not all the riz, not all the good stuff at the end of the day. We're here to celebrate something fun. So, Matt, how are you? How are things?
I'm great. 2025, off to a decent start, I feel like. How are you feeling in 2025? What's the vibe so far? Are we on 2026 already?
Things are gonna get easier. We kind of started off on a pretty low, not personally, but I feel like we kind of started off on a low note. But like, we just feel like odd numbers tend to not have the best of times when it comes for the year.
It's the best of times, it's the worst of times. Well, 2020 sucked.
Matt, I'm so excited for today's episode.
I'm always excited for every episode.
Yeah, but especially this one, because this has become a tradition for the Funny Business Podcast. And I'm just happy that for the fifth time in a row this year that I get to bring on the Banished Words List of 2025. And we were alluding to it a little bit before in the last episode, but it's finally here. Lake Superior State University, all the way out in Michigan, has this long-time tradition of Banished Words List. Matt, this is the 49th year that Lake Superior State University has done the Banished Words List. Now, we've kind of thrown a little bit of suggestions and thoughts. Matt, I looked at this Banished Words List. I'm quite surprised at the results.
I feel like a lot of them, there's a lot of business lingo in here. Per my previous email, like Riz, like there's a lot of business lingo, I feel like, every year.
Obsessed was one, side hustle.
Yep.
Wait for it.
Hacks was like the word of the year last year, right? I think
it was number one.
Yeah.
I know we shared last week that we hope very mindful, very demure. A report that's not on the list.
Damn.
I know.
That sucks.
Yes.
It's on our list. Let's be clear about that.
Yes. So, as always, Matt, what are you hoping to see in this Banished Words List?
I was hoping to see demure. I could go without brain rot.
Okay.
Could go without that. That's probably the two biggest ones.
Even though that's the word of the year?
Yeah, I could go without it.
Okay. Lake Superior State University always offers a kind of not a polling system, but a submission system. So this is obviously contributed by thousands, if not millions of people who want to banish these words for this year. So, Matt, at number 10 of the Banished Words List for 2025, period.
Okay.
So, the explanation. Yes, we understand your point. No need to verbally punctuate it. Overuse has turned this into a period we are ready to end. Teresa from Detroit, Michigan recommends that we banish this word by putting it in a bottle and sending it out to sea.
Yeah, people do. It can be used in a funny way, like if you're in like a joking conversation. But if you type it out in like an email, it does come off very douchey.
Yeah. Period. No questions asked.
Like, well, I have some questions I'm going to ask.
You, my friend, are done asking questions.
Yes.
I don't know. I think it's come from a lack of confidence. Like if your point that you're trying to make is not confident enough, you add a period at the end. And I think that just doesn't, you just look you look weak, in my opinion.
Yeah, it does. It's like, well, this is what I say, and that's it. I go, good for you.
Period. All right, next one. This is a surprise. Utilize.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
A classic offender. Utilize proves that no longer is not always better. Why complicate things when the word use works just fine? Everett from Cumby, Texas. Well, that's a Cumby, Cumby, Texas. Encourages readers to write like you talk and added, Lord, I hope you don't talk like that.
I feel like people do talk like that, though. Or they're starting to. I feel like people, everyone tries to, I'll say the word, utilize. Maybe what you want banned is everyone trying to use something for everything. That makes sense. Like they're trying to spread out its worth, its value to get the most out of it. But in reality, it's only good for like one or two things.
I think it comes from a jargon like simple words tend to be jargon at times, and potentially, like they said, like instead of you saying, oh, let's utilize this, like let's use this. Let's be simple in 2025.
I agree.
All right, next one. This is number 8, but it's a number, a percentage, 100%.
Okay, I'm guilty of this.
So the explanation, is it possible to be overenthusiastic about retiring this phrase 100%? Absolutely. Its overuse has left no room for nuance or doubt. A phrase predominantly nominated for its overuse, some felt it was simply not applicable. Since when should a percentage be used to describe your agreement in a conversation? Asked Stephen from Sudbury, Ontario.
So I'm going to defend this because I do say it a lot. Is it a weird way of agreeing with someone? Yes, but it's also kind of unique and fun, I feel like. Now I try not to say it too much, but I try to use it in terms of like someone says like, oh, I hate Juan Soto, he's only playing baseball for the money. I 100% agree with you. Like that's how I'm going to use it.
Like, I wonder if it's just extra. If you agree with them, that means you already, like at your capacity, it's 100% in agreement. So maybe it's just an extra word that they're trying to chop off this year.
I mean, you could easily just say like absolutely or I agree, but is that as fun? I don't know. I like to have fun in my conversations.
100%, period. All right, number 7. I'm kind of glad this one's going away. Hopefully going away. Skibidi.
Yeah, I hate this one.
Yeah. So the viral world may have resonated with a younger crowd, but for many, it is just noise. Agatha from Denmark explains, nobody cares about a Skibidi toilet, Skibidi fizz, or Skibidi Ohio phantom tax. At this point, nobody even knows what it means, and it just annoys people.
I don't think I would have used Skibidi if I was a kid these days. Like back in the like when we were kids, it was like YOLO. Like that stuff was cool. Skibidi and like toilet and Skibidi toilet Ohio phantom tax. Well, it doesn't even make sense. Like it's not English in the slightest.
And the Skibidi toilet's just kind of weird in my opinion.
It's so dumb.
Yeah. For those who don't know, it literally is a head in a toilet.
Yeah.
And that's apparently this Skibidi toilet.
Yeah, I'm great we have the internet so everybody can like be together, but maybe let's stop making everything go viral and trending.
Number 6. It's a phrase, Matthew. Sorry, not sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So a half-hearted apology masquerading as bold honesty. This phrase feels as disingenuous as it sounds. Banished word enthusiasts recommend just saying what you mean, or in at least one case, showing a little kindness. Sabrina from Renshaw, Minnesota, writes, it is really tiring to hear, and it is giving people another reason to be jerks to one another.
Yeah, I agree. It does come off very rude. You know people that actually use this in a sentence?
I think I've said it a couple times.
I don't think I have. I don't think I've known, like, no one's ever said it to me. I also feel like people just say, like, I'm sorry, but I don't really ever hear sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. I think from a sorry, not sorry standpoint, it already is a little demeaning that somebody just says, sorry. Like, we know on the receiving end that you're really not sorry. So you don't need to explain that you're sorry, not sorry.
Yep. I almost said 100% right there.
Wow, Matt. Catching up to us, huh?
Yep.
You're not going to like number 3, but we got a couple more to go. All right. Number 5, the internet slang or texting abbreviation of if you know, you know. IYKYK.
Okay, what's the reasoning?
Internet slang and texting abbreviations are often fan favorites of Banished Word submitters each year. Cryptic and exclusionary, this phrase offers a little clarity or substance. If you know, you might agree it is time to let this one go. Amy from Redford, Michigan feels this phrase should go for being both irritating and nonsensical.
I don't know. I think it's kind of like you're in the club, because if you know, like you feel like you're a part of something special.
You know where the move is. You know,
yeah,
if you know, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's like a VIP access.
VIP access that also does a pat down.
Yep.
I feel like when it comes to text abbreviations, like I remember back in the day, like any way that you could abbreviate your text, and especially when the days before unlimited data or unlimited texting, like you could only put it to a certain amount of characters. I just remember like all the times I did your, like you are, or I almost said a different one.
Because BC,
like that stuff, like that was like popular back in the day. But I think what's tough is when you're in the real world. Let's just put it there. If you're in the real world, one thing I had a very hard time understanding, which is not on this list, is TL/DR. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Too long, didn't read. So someone gives you this very long paragraph, like paragraphs of text, but then they summarize it in a TLDR or a too long, didn't read.
Yeah, no, that's obnoxious. That one is out of line.
Which gives you the point that it's exclusionary. So if you don't know what the abbreviation is, then you can't really follow it. So like, Matt, you probably read a whole bunch of paragraphs and didn't realize the TLDR was actually all you needed to read.
Yep, had no clue. No damn clue.
All right, Matt, number 4. Curious to see how this conversation goes. Dropped.
What?
Dropped.
Okay.
Once edgy and cool, dropped has become more of a letdown. Whether it is an album, a trend, or a product, this term has fallen flat. Books, music, and all kinds of unnecessary things are currently being dropped rather than introduced, released, or offered for sale. Banished for overuse, misuse, abuse, and hurting my head when all that dropping stuff lands on me. Yep. Laments Susan from Littleton, Colorado.
Yep. Definitely overused. I feel like dropped should be used in like a surprise sense, in like the way it's being used now. So like if an artist drops like a random album, he just dropped it. But if he's like announcing like, hey, at midnight on here, I'm releasing an album, that's not I don't feel like that should be a drop. I feel like we got to classify it as something more special.
Or even like music, typically like, oh, my new album drops or my new song drops, like my new song releases or my new song is out. Like, again, simpler words like,
yeah,
my new song is live or
yeah. But like when baseball starts in March, like the MLB season does not drop tonight. It just it starts. It's beginning.
All right, at number 3 of the Banished Words List of 2025.
Okay.
Era.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
So unless you are Taylor Swift, it might be time to leave era behind. The term's overuse has made every fleeting moment feel like it demands a historical marker. Leah of Holland, Michigan submits, thanks to the name of Taylor Swift's tour, now there is an era for everyone and everything. He's in his fatherhood era. She's in her pottery making era, etc., etc. It's overuse and tiring.
It's so overused and it's annoying to read. Like an era should be classified as like 15 plus years. It's crazy. And everyone's just like using it like it's like a 2-month thing. It's just not.
I think you see it in social media a lot as well. Like, oh, like I see a lot with colleges, universities, like we're in our studying era. And it's like, it's just good luck with finals.
Yeah, you're in college. It's what you're supposed to do.
Right. Like,
that's ridiculous.
Yeah. No disrespect to Taylor Swift at all. We are a pro Taylor Swift podcast, of course. I mean, yeah, cultural phenomenon, of course. But to keep going with this, like, oh, like he's in his fatherhood era, like he's in his dad era, or he's in his podcasting, like just he's podcasting.
Yeah. Also, in Taylor Swift's, that made sense because that was like her show was the Eras tour. But she's also had eras because she's been doing this for so long, and each album is like different than the others. So artists can have like an era, like Post Malone's now in his country era, and like he can do that because it's different things. But yeah, the college student studying, that's just called going to college.
Right. I figured you'd have a good explanation.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Always.
All right, number 2, game changer.
Okay.
How many times can a game change before it is no longer recognizable? This phrase, often used to describe anything remotely innovative, is as tired as a well-worn cliche. Nothing is a game changer if everything is a game changer, writes Patrick of Washington, D.C.
Yeah, again, overused for sure. And game changer, again, needs to be for something special. Like, something that actually like changed your life. If it changes your life, that is a game changer.
Or it's more life-changing.
Yes, exactly.
I think this game changer, like, okay, use it in sports, use it in the video game, but if you come up with a way to do something at work in 2 steps instead of 6, it's just, hey, hats off to you. Here's a raise. Raises for everybody for 2025.
I'm here for it. I'll sign the dotted line.
Where do I sign? All right, that at number 1 of Lake Superior State University's 2025 Banished Words List. You have a guess on this?
I hope it's not boom.
Could you imagine? The phrase, we bring the
boom.
Apparently they're in a little hot water from
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Is that I couldn't tell if that was real or not.
It was. So
that's tough.
And you know, Matt, hate to say it, but I will use the Banished Words List. It's a little cringe.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
For context, I guess who are those guys?
So the Costco guys, they were doing I think it was a live stream, and somebody commented that somebody had passed, and as they do, they gave the person 5 big booms, which is just, you gotta have some what's the word I'm looking for here?
Empathy. Read the room.
Yeah, you gotta read the room.
Awareness.
Yeah, awareness. Yeah, common sense.
Common sense.
Decency. I don't know.
So a little cringy, a little cringe. But that is the number one most submitted word for Banished Words List. So cringe. When cringe once packed a punch, it has now overstayed its welcome. Overuse has dulled its impact, and ironically, using it might now cause the very reaction it describes. Saying someone caused you to cringe, or stating that you cringed at something, is pretty easy and proper way to use that word, writes Ash from Newton, Alabama. Hearing someone say, someone is so cringe, makes me cringe.
It does. Yeah, it's difficult to read. I don't want to see it anymore. It's almost kind of like ick and cringe kind of together. It's just like a cool thing to say. And that's really what happens. Once something becomes cool to say for like a month or so, and then everybody just starts using it, and then it just gets overused, and you got to ban it.
The purpose of the word is sometimes misinterpreted, like era. Like, Matt, you poetically spoke that like Taylor Swift had certain years in her career as a musical artist that has allowed it to be the Eras Tour. And it's like, she's in her Eras Tour. And it's like, no, like you're not in your time. Like, okay, get rid of it. But it gets so misinterpreted that then it becomes a meme or a cultural phenomenon. And then it just turns into this really weird, like awkward, like dad could be, not my dad specifically, my dad's cool, but a dad could say like, yeah, I'm in my fishing era. I'm in my brewery era. And it's like, Dad, stop.
It's enough.
It's enough.
Yeah, as far as cringe, people just, if something annoys them, it's just cringy to them. And that's not what the word is for.
We used it correctly.
We did.
We are smart.
We are smarticle particles.
We are smart. So, Matt, 1 bite rules. What would you rate this list for this year?
I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. I feel like last year there's a lot that I didn't like for some reason. So I'm going to give it 8 out of 10, which is also 4 out of 5 booms.
Or at least no one died.
No. Yep. We're safe.
At least no one died. Yeah, so that is Lake Superior State University. They're all the way out in Michigan. So I've noticed, Matt, they actually do have a few other traditions as to what they do. So the Banished Words List is not the only thing that they do. Apparently they do some snowman burning. Basically it's like human like, ever see like the human, I forget what it's called, like the heads? I don't know what I'm talking about. It's like the burning human, like the standing human.
Sacrifice?
No, it's not a sacrifice. Like, they just put a bunch of wood together and turn it into like a shape of a human, and then they burn it.
A scarecrow. I don't know.
No, it's not. Okay.
I don't know.
But then apparently unicorn hunters is another one.
Oh.
They hunt for unicorns.
Do tell.
The Department of Natural Unicorns, the DNU of the unicorn hunters at Lake Superior State University, enforces the following. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is more than I expected. Hold on, everybody. You can become a unicorn quester.
Yeah, we got to do that on the podcast next week.
Okay.
Let's take the quiz. A unicorn quester sounds like something from World of Warcraft.
I think it does.
But I'm intrigued and would like to know how to become a unicorn quester. Or I don't know if I'd want to hunt a unicorn. Unicorn.
So the origins and purpose. In 1971, Bill Rabe and several LSSU professors founded the Unicorn Hunters as a creative PR strategy. It was newly independent. The whimsical idea of issuing unicorn hunting licenses and staging quests drew national media attention, boosting the school's publicity. Beyond unicorn hunting, the group sparked ongoing traditions like the Banished Words List and the obviously the burning of the snowman. Although the unicorn hunters formally retired in 1987, LSSU continues to honor their spirit by offering unicorn hunting licenses and upholding traditions and carrying forward the imaginative legacy begun by Bill Rabe and his colleagues.
Yeah, I think we now have to start our own unicorn hunting club.
So I just click join now. Unicorn hunting license request. First name, last name, email, phone. Yes. Please indicate if we have permission to share such photos and related materials. That's all you have to do.
That's it? Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
How much do you hunt down a unicorn? How much are you selling it for?
It's my bag.
It's your bag?
Yeah, like what's the ransom for unicorn hunting?
Yeah, I don't know. It's got to be millions.
I'd say thousands.
You think it's unicorn though?
Well, if it's not a unicorn, they just turn it to glue. So,
well, that's true. Glitter glue.
Glitter glue. That's how they make glitter glue.
Yeah. Sorry, just ruined all your people's hopes and dreams there.
I'm so down.
Well, let's get further down.
Yep. No.
Slide on in. Second half of the show with some down in the dumps. All right, I'll go first.
Okay.
I got a few. First off, I bought coffee creamer from Aldi's. Just kind of like generic brand.
Where?
Aldi's.
Where?
Nope. Nope, you're not getting me. Nope. Sorry. Nice try. You almost had me.
Shit.
You almost had me.
Almost.
And I just bought like generic like caramel macchiato. It's the worst creamer I've ever bought in my life. It's
don't you
bad.
hate that?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Did you get a new one yet?
A new what?
Creamer?
No, I just bought it like 2 days ago.
Aren't you getting a new one?
No, I'm just gonna write it out.
Oh man.
Yeah, I can't waste it.
Raw dog and some coffee.
It's basically black coffee. All right. Second of all, Mike, you might see behind me, and the listeners might see behind me a wonderful framed Steelers jersey.
Yeah, Matt showed me that after the pod.
I did. So it's quote unquote hanging in the apartment. The down of the dumps is there's no good way to properly hang anything in this apartment because we obviously can't put holes in the wall. So that's actually not attached to the wall. What that jersey is on is a bed frame. Now, I know what you're asking, Matt. Why is there a bed frame standing up on the back of your spare bedroom wall? We are supposed to get a king mattress sometime. My cousin had a box spring, 2 box springs together for the mattress. Yeah. The plan to get the mattress kind of fell through. So now we're also stuck hoarding a box spring for a king size mattress. So that is right now against the wall, and the frame jersey is on top of that.
How are you going to fit a king size mattress in that room, Matthew?
Not this room. It's going in the main bedroom.
Oh.
Yes. Oh. So basically right now we're on a full. So I don't know how we're doing.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get a king for the bedroom we sleep in.
Okay.
The big down in the dumps is I want to hang my jersey and I can't.
Command strips.
It's too heavy.
Lots of command strips.
That could be the option. Yeah.
I put a ton on one of, well, we're able to drill holes, but when I was my office, I pressed a whole bunch up against and it was totally fine.
Mm-hmm. That's another like half down in the dumps because we're not quite there yet, but we're looking into newer places to live. And moving sucks. It's the worst.
Big U-Haul, baby.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's still moving, unpacking, and then there's just a lot of other stuff. I have more. My family and I were supposed to go on a Florida trip in March. However, well, yeah, no, we're not going anymore.
What?
So family's got to get a little healthy. My mom's going through some things. Dad is getting new knees.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So that's
Bionic.
happening. That's happening starting next week. So based on his rehab and other things, the trip is getting postponed to 2026.
It's not bad.
No, it's okay. But I was really looking forward to Florida trip.
I'm really looking forward to the sun.
Yeah, I have been so cold. Yesterday at work, my feet were so cold because I wasn't wearing great shoes for the snow, and I had to step in some snow. So my feet were just wet the whole day. And I got home at like 7, and I like almost slept through dinner. I was so cold.
Because your feet were cold?
Because my feet were cold. I just got home and I got warm and I was like, I'm out. Finally, my last one. I volunteered to take April to see Wicked on Saturday.
You volunteered?
Yeah, because there's a local movie theater that's like very old school that is now showing current movies.
But you volunteered?
I volunteered to go with her.
You're not interested?
Not totally. The only reason, my down in the dumps, the only reason I was, you know, that TikTok trend of like the promotion going around? Was
Yeah.
like, Alphaba, Linda. Spoiler alert. Do you know that's not in the movie?
Yeah, it's on Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, no, I thought that was part of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had zero interest to go see it now. None.
Deadpool Wolverine had another one too with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, and it was hilarious.
I've yet to see Deadpool Wolverine.
It's on Disney Plus right now.
I know.
Come on, Matt.
We'll get there.
What
Listen,
are you doing outside of podcast recording and grocery shopping?
I got bad news for you. We didn't even finish Outer Banks.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not that important.
No. We were so far behind in our TV shows. It's bad. Yeah, but I thought that was going to be like cool to see in theaters, and just wasn't going to see it.
Yeah. Well, culturally speaking, you could say you were part of Glicked, Gladiator and Wicked. You didn't see Gladiator 2, but
I got to be honest. I didn't even know Gladiator 2 was a movie till you said it the other day.
Yeah, you said that.
That's been down in the dumps.
You could just be culturally intact knowing that you went to go see like one of the most popular movies of 2024, even though it's 2025 right now.
It did win the Golden Globe.
Did?
Yeah, which I can't get into the Golden Globes. Just can't.
Hey, Dwayne. Wow, Matt. So I know I'm kind of going off the cuff here. Not anything too particular that has caused me to be down in the dumps.
Okay, that's good.
One was I had a snack ready for today's podcast and I didn't eat.
Oh, those are the grilled cheese crackers?
Yeah, it's the grilled cheese Lance's Captain's Wafers.
Yeah, they're freaking best.
I will say for the first time, for the first time in like, and Matt knows, for the first time in like 10 years, I watched WWE for the first time.
Yep.
As those who've seen it, or what's the word I'm looking for? For those who have seen the news, Raw, which happens on Monday night, has moved to Netflix. Mm-hmm. Which particularly in WWE's history, Raw is, and I think still is, the most popular show compared to SmackDown versus Raw. Matt and I know a good buddy of ours that works for WWE, so obviously by way of supporting, I was like, I'm going to watch it, and still have yet to text them. I want to text them, but I just felt old. Another add it to the we're getting older, but I was just getting old. I just remember how much faster it was, the show in particular. Like it felt like it dragged on forever. Mm-hmm. And not only that, it was on frickin' Netflix. And let me tell you, I have the ad tier, which like I've mentioned before, the ad tier's fine. I'm totally fine with it. Jen and I totally fine with it. They were playing commercials in the middle of their show.
Oh no.
I was like, what are you doing? But it felt like the matches that they were doing, they had 2 commercials for every match. And I think, Matt, there was a total of there's a total of 4 matches.
Oh.
And they had 2 commercials per every match.
Now, did they just stop the match, go to commercial, or did they do like the commercial on the side and then just the match on the left?
No, so they had a live audience. They were at the Intuit Dome, which first time actually seeing it besides first time seeing it in action. Lovely space and arena. Like yeah. I hope they keep that up in good condition, because to me, I sat there and I was like watching at the Intuit Dome, Englewood, California. I said to myself, I'm like, this is kind of like when parents like have a kid and they have to like kidify their house of like putting like plugs. Like there's just a lot of cool things going around that like is too fragile. Like Matt knows there's like voting buttons in like all the seats. There's lights in all the seats so that they can like turn on the lights in a certain particular motion or movement. Yep. I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, I hope they take care of that, because if they keep up with that, like that is going to be the future generation of arenas when they redo them or when they build new arenas. But
you seen the wall in the Intuit Dome?
Wall.
The wall. So when the Clippers display there behind one of the backboards. It's designed to look like a
Oh,
giant like wall when they sit, and it's like a big like college crowd, and they just go
Yep.
nuts, and the other team just can't make a free throw.
yep. I
Sick.
think they actually had the entrance, so they actually like retracted
Yes.
that side.
Yeah.
They had the mini drone like flying through the arena. Like it was freaking cool.
Who did they
But
have commentating? Was it the regular people?
Pat McAfee was was there.
Ah, that's sick. Sup, Pat McAfee?
Pat McAfee.
He's
He
the
was being
best.
Pat McAfee. That's what he was doing.
I have some WWE questions that I've seen
Go-
from Twitter.
Sure. I'll try my
Um,
best.
Yep. Why was everybody booing Hulk Hogan?
Hulk Hogan, for being in the state of California, Hulk Hogan was shown his major support for a Republican nominee for this year's election.
Got it. Okay.
He also spoke at the Republican National Convention.
Got it. Okay. Didn't know that.
Don't want to go any further than that.
Yep, that's fine. Number two, how, and I don't want this to sound bad, but it's going to come out bad. At what point do they have to stop bringing back like all these old timers and just kind of make new good characters of their own, like The Rock?
Wait, so you consider The Rock as a new character?
No, an old timer.
Okay.
How many times do they have to keep bringing him back and saying this is the last time that he's coming back?
So fun fact, The Rock is on the board of directors for TKO.
Yep.
So like that's why they call him the final boss. Anyway,
that was my next question.
yes. There wasn't, based on the show, like there was one old timer that actually competed in a wrestling match. Better yet, this year's John Cena's farewell tour. Anybody knows John Cena, like from the memes and all that. He only spoke, but a lot of the new characters were out and about. I think people just are not ready for that transition. Like I think we all know, like we're not ready for LeBron to retire. We're not ready. Same thing. We weren't ready for Kobe to retire. Like we're just not ready for these wrestlers to retire, unless you're Ric Flair. You should have retired like 20 years ago.
Correct. And go to see a doctor.
Yep. Please.
Any good new characters that you liked? Follow-up question. Oh, go ahead.
Main event, Jey Uso.
Okay.
He comes in and he has the whole crowd yeeting, which pretty electric.
I like that.
He had Travis Scott smoke a blunt in front of him before he went out, which was like, whoa.
That's badass.
Yeah.
The Miz.
Still active, but was not there Monday night.
Okay. I feel like people like him, then they don't like him, then they like him, then they don't. Where we're at currently?
I think they like him.
Okay. All right. Cool. Final one, is The Undertaker officially retired?
He's been retired.
Okay.
But he did show up last night.
Oh, okay. Did they play the music?
So he's back to his American Badass version, which was years, like he's not the dead man, he's America's Badass, and did it after the Divas World Championship match, and basically gave like a nod of respect to Rhea Ripley as the new women's world champion. So they played the gong, which then everybody freaked out. Most of the audience was loud pops, like when John Cena's music hit, like literally the whole crowd just wah! Same with The Rock. Yeah, Hulk Hogan was the only person out of like all of them that he got booze from.
Yeah, that makes sense that you explain it that way.
Yeah.
All right, there's our WWE roundup.
Woo! Catch it every Monday night on Netflix.
Yeah, there we go.
No, nothing's been down in the dumps besides me being old and not getting my schnack on. So
yeah, I would be upset about that too.
Yes. So, well, thank you all so much for tuning in. You can find all of our good stuff at beacons.ai/funnybusinesspod. Mr. Matthew.
Ish.
What is your advice for the good people, the listeners, the coworkers, the wonderful viewers of the Funny Business World?
Make sure you have a handle on your subscriptions. Make sure that you are using yours. Why are you doing the whoop and the nay? Okay.
Locked in.
let's make sure we're not paying for things we're not using.
What are you not using that you want to cancel a subscription on?
I don't think anything. I do pay like $2.99 a month for like the extra Apple storage.
$299?
Nope. $2.99. I feel like I need it, but I also had the thought that like I should look into that. It's also only $2.99 a month.
I think you need it.
I also think I need it. Okay, good. Because that just sold me. I'm not even gonna check.
Because I do that, Matt.
Okay. Right.
I do that.
Also, I just got a notification on my Mac that my disk is almost full.
Oh, you're what? No.
My disk. I was like, wait, what did I just say?
Gotta clean some of those videos out.
Yeah, I gotta remember how to do that.
Check the storage.
But yeah, check your subscriptions. Make sure you're not wasting money.
I canceled a subscription before the end of the year 2024. I closed my smart banking app that is called Albert.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Only reason why I was keeping it was because it was auto saving for me, and I found out that Capital One does that. So,
what is auto saving?
Like every week, it would automatically take a certain amount from my checking account and put it into
That's cool.
Yeah. So I have to do a little bit more finagling and make sure I know where my finances are at in one account, but build that interest, save that money. $5 a week, $5 every 2 weeks, $5 a month. It adds up.
Yep, sure does.
Hell yeah.
April actually bought it's kind of like a saving planner. So it's got like different challenges where like you try to save like
$5 or $1.
Kind of. It's even more. It's like 300 in a month. And then there's different, but what you can do is like you actually go like take out like the cash and you put it in like one for vacation fund, one for savings, one for like new furniture or like just stuff like that. So like down the line when it adds up and like you go on like that vacation in July, it's like, all right, let's pull this cash. This is our like restaurant month. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, saving is always good. But if they can gamify it in a way, that's also very good as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. Well, that concludes today's episode. And until the next time, we'll see you all in the next episode.
Stay safe, everyone.